In just 18 hours, Maria intensifies from a Cat 1 to a Cat 5, and tonight it's headed for the Caribbean.
And how much more does my home have to take?
First Coast News storm experts track what this means for us at home. Plus, parents being charged for childcare when the daycare is closed. We investigate if that's legal.
And desperation grows for some after more than a week without power. First Coast News at 11 starts right now. And we start with breaking news tonight. A lot of you talking about this story on Facebook. The Naval Hospital in Jacksonville is taking action after disturbing pictures surfaced on social media.
Now, the pictures involve babies at the hospital, and the Facebook post has been shared tens of thousands of times tonight. It sparked a flurry of outrage. Many of you have been contacting us tonight about this. First Coast News' Brittany Dion is in the newsroom now with the breaking details. Brittany?
We have been getting numerous emails and messages into our newsroom from viewers extremely upset about these pictures. Hospital employees at the Naval Hospital Jacksonville, entrusted with the care of newborn babies, took pictures of themselves acting extremely inappropriately and posted them on social media. These are screenshots of the pictures, which were originally posted on the app Snapchat. The pictures appear to show an employee flipping off a baby and calling the baby a mini Satan. The second picture that you see here shows a woman holding the baby up by the arms and smiling. We blurred out her face for privacy at this point. Now, a person who claims to know the woman in this photo reposted the pictures on Facebook. The post calls the woman, quote, a Navy nurse who made the baby dance to rap music. The post has been shared more than 85,000 times. Now, we're getting answers for you tonight. We've reached out to Naval Hospital Jacksonville. The hospital sent us this statement, which reads in its entirety. They say that they are aware of the video and photo posted online. It's outrageous, unacceptable, incredibly unprofessional, and cannot be tolerated. We have identified the staff members involved. They have been removed from patient care, and they will be handled by the legal system and military justice. We're in the process of notifying the patient's parents. Now, we have been working to contact the employees in those photos. We have not been able to reach them. Of course, we will continue to try to contact them and follow this case closely and bring you the latest details here on air and online at firstcoastnews.com. Reporting in the Information Center, I'm Brittany Dion, First Coast News, on your side.
It is a story we will definitely stay on top of. Brittany, thank you. Well, tonight, Maria is now a Category 5 hurricane, and forecasters say the winds could get even stronger.
So this comes a week after Hurricane Irma moved through our area. So let's talk about this. Tonight is threatening Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, and a lot of you are concerned about what this means for Florida. Storm expert Lindsay Bosch joins us from the Storm Center tonight with answers. Lindsay.
Yes, good evening to you guys. This is something that we've been getting a lot of questions about. We had Hurricane Irma, and then we had Jose that we kept getting questions about, and now Maria. And Maria now with 160-mile-per-hour winds, still moving at the west-northwest at 9 miles per hour. And a lot of folks have been saying this looks like the same path that Irma took, going over the same islands that Irma went over. There are several differences, though, in the upper levels of the atmosphere that are very different with this storm than the last storm. One of them is an area of high pressure, and that is going to make that turn. We were talking about the turn with Irma. That's going to make that turn with Maria happen a little bit quicker. So right now, again, a Category 5 storm expected to have winds of 160 miles per hour still by Tuesday, still a Category 5 and a Category 4 just before it hits the island of Puerto Rico. So as it turns, it'll downgrade to a Category 3 and then continue on its way to the north. Zooming in here, the eye of the storm just now hitting Dominicana, and then again continuing to move west-northwest at about 9 miles per hour. We also have Jose. Lee kind of diminished, that downgraded to just remnant low, so not really an issue. Jose is what's wrapping this drier air around and giving us our drier conditions. So here's a look at Jose right now, barely holding on to hurricane status, a Category 1. That'll continue to loop back around. Jose and Maria will kind of do a little dance in the Atlantic, and we'll talk about that and what this means for your forecast coming up. Heather.
Lindsay, thank you. Major developments tonight about a high-profile officer-involved shooting in Jacksonville. The state attorney will not file charges against the officer who shot and killed Vernell Bing.
The 22-year-old was unarmed when he died last year after being shot in the head. First Coast News investigative reporter Julia Janae is on your side tonight. She's been pouring through the documents released today and joins us now with the latest. Julia.
That's right, guys. The state attorney's office today announcing that they found the officer's actions to be lawful and justified. Now, the most protested part of this shooting was not just that Vernell Bing was unarmed, but that he was fleeing the scene when he was shot. And Melissa Nelson's office turned over hundreds of photos, videos, and documents as evidence, and they said that that was what they used in their 16-month investigation. They are now giving that all to the public with everything they know about this death. Dashcam video shows multiple units who were dispatched May 22nd, 2016.
Chevy Camaro.
Responding to reports that a red Camaro that had been stolen during an armed robbery had been located.
Jacksonville Sheriff's Office files. I just noticed that a red Chevrolet Camaro with the black top that the police has been looking for in that shooting on 11th Street. He's driving down Lambert, going down 9th Street right now at high rates of speed.
Okay, I'll have officers go check it out.
You better bring more than one because we finna book. I'm telling you now.
Officers during the chase reported Vernell Bing going speeds of 150 miles per hour. This is an animation reenactment from the state attorney's office. It shows how Bing's vehicle collided with Officer Timothy Landerville's police cruiser.
Hey, they on Lambert Street running on feet. The cops are chasing them now. You got to get more officers out here fast.
It does so much damage to his car that he has to get out the driver's passenger side of the vehicle to try and flee. As he's running, he makes an furtive motion to his waistband, which Landerville observes.
Our crime and safety analyst Mark Bachman says even if a suspect is fleeing, deadly force can be used if the suspect is believed to be armed.
Poses a danger to the public in light of the fact of what he did with the car, and he had reckless endangerment to just everybody in that area with the car. I think that was the ultimate logic and the reason for not prosecuting.
In this 38-page investigative report by State Attorney Melissa Nelson, she finds the shooting to be justified, saying we will never fully know what Vernell Bing's intentions were on that fateful day. What we do know is that Bing's action left no doubt in the mind of Officer Landerville that Bing was an immediate threat and an imminent threat to others. Every mile Bing fled and every second Bing drove was one more opportunity to pull over and surrender to lawful commands to stop. Bing chose to do otherwise. Now, we reached out to the Bing family. The attorney for the family said that they are appreciative of the transparency that Melissa Nelson's office has exhibited during this investigation, but they are disappointed with the decision and plan to seek civil remedies in this case. Now, we have all of the information that we shared here in our story. We also have that online at firstcoastnews.com, including that full reenactment video that investigators put together. Guys, back to you.
Information released today. Julia, thank you. Well, parents, if you have a child in daycare, you know most centers charge by the week. But what if the center was open only for a few days because of the hurricane? Or you couldn't get your child there for some other storm-related situation? Can you be charged full price? Should you? Here's consumer investigator Danielle Serino.
That's exactly what a local parent said happened to her. First Steps Education in Fleming Island was closed last week because it didn't have power and it was following the school district schedule. But with about 12 hours notice, the center said it was opening Thursday, even though county schools were still closed and parents had to pay.
A full week's tuition for 2 days worth of daycare for a natural disaster it's a little much.
Ashley and Alan Kramer started sending 14-month-old Skyland to the First Steps Education Center 2.5 months ago, and they loved it.
It's been awesome. The staff's very pleasant, very friendly, always open.
But when they found out through this rather curt message they wouldn't get a discount for the days the center was closed, they were cranky to say the least. Like an overtired toddler, they too were exhausted from dealing with the storm and cleanup, and now the financial burden.
It takes a big hit, especially when you have lost time of work, trying to finish up the internship. It just, money's tight. Now we got extra cleanup costs.
Hi, Danielle Serino, First Coast News. How are you?
But when we showed up asking why parents were being penalized, considering it was the center that shut down, the director told us they sent a letter telling parents they wouldn't be charged. Odd, since all the other storm-related communications came electronically.
Do you have a copy of that letter?
She decided to ignore me, going back to work.
Do you have anybody I can speak to confirm that? Do you have an email, a name, a number?
She gave me the email address of the owner, and this was the response. So I called her back.
You can't give me his phone number, is it
Instead,
possible?
she said she'd contact him and added the center was taking a hit of its own because it still had to pay staff. But since the owner never called, I called several other First Step franchises.
They will be charged the full rate.
Yep, no discount for those parents either. Dad says he'll just have to burn one of those vacation weeks.
She's not the only one taking a hit. It's a community effort. Everybody's taking a hit.
Since daycares are private companies, the state told us they can do whatever they want, although some would argue that may not be the right thing to do. I'm Danielle Serino for First Coast News, on your side.
Very interesting. Thank you, Danielle. A Stetson University student from Fleming Island is facing charges tonight, accused of threatening a gas attack and a bombing at the school. Police arrested Griffin Pyle last night at his Clay County home. They say he made the threats on Snapchat. Police in DeLand, where the school is located, have banned Powell from the Stetson campus.
Well, there are still hundreds of people without power in our area more than a week after Hurricane Irma. And now some families getting desperate. They're putting these signs in their yards, alerting FPL crews about their outage. We saw these pictures in St. Johns County. This is along US 13 in the Switzerland area. We know FP&L, JEA, all the utility companies say they've greatly reduced the number of power outages, and they are working around the clock to get the power restored.
Well, news tonight about the future of One Spark, the reason you'll have to wait even longer for the crowdfunding festival.
Plus, the search is on for a man accused of punching a 66-year-old woman in the face. What we know about the altercation.
And all eyes on the tropics as we have Hurricane Maria, a Category 5 hurricane, expected to intensify even a little bit more. We'll talk about this storm and what it means for your forecast coming up.
Tonight, a business that opened to bring hope to those affected by tragedy is now rebuilding after Irma.
And our Honey Rodriguez caught up with the owners of Painting with a Twist. They were forced to close after Hurricane Irma flooded their studio in San Marco. Honey joins us now live. And Honey, I know despite all they've been through, they're still remaining optimistic.
That's right, Heather. That is the theme out here, but it's still so sad to see. As I walk down San Marco Boulevard, I mean, you can see everywhere businesses across the street too completely empty because they were flooded by the storm. And Painting with a Twist is actually another example of that. Not only have they been impacted financially, but the owners tell me it also impacts them on the very reasons the franchise company opened, which was to bring art to a disaster-shaken community.
It looks like it went up about 3 feet.
Enough water to force Jerry and Josh Bernard to close their San Marco business painting with a twist.
We're good at painting, but we're not good at flood damage.
But the duo is becoming better at turning disaster into creation.
A little sad, but Painting with a Twist started out of Hurricane Katrina.
The franchise company opened shop in Louisiana. Now there are dozens of studios around the U.S.
Even though there was tragedy going on, people wanted to have something that would be therapeutic. So here we are.
Trying to rebuild after Hurricane Irma.
You can let something like this destroy you, or you can have it make you stronger.
We're grateful that we actually have a studio, that it's just about cleaning up and getting back in here.
Both owners tell me it could have been worse.
I work with a wonderful lady, that's my sister, so I'm pretty confident that we will be fine.
We put our boots on, we're ready to, clean up shop and get people in here as soon as we can.
While it will take weeks before they can bring art to the First Coast, they're remaining First Coast strong.
Pick up a hobby, painting. Make sure that's your favorite thing to do, that and the Jaguars.
Yeah, come back and see us when we're up and running. We'll have new paint on the walls, we'll have new tables in here.
Yeah, brand new studio, so it'll be great.
As you can see, a lot of work is going inside this place right now as the owners try to rebuild. They tell me they hope to open the doors by October 7th. They also tell me they're humbled to ask for help. They've created a donation page, and we've got that link for you on our website. Again, they're telling me that they can use all the help that they can get. For now, reporting live in San Marco, I'm Hani Rodriguez. First Coast News on your side.
And we hope they can get that help. Thank you, Hani. New tonight at 11, Jacksonville's One Spark Festival has been postponed once again. It was supposed to be next month, but you now have to wait until April of 2018. President Chris Carter says he wants to be respectful of the hardships the community faces because of Hurricane Irma, and this is just the latest speed bump for One Spark. The crowdfunding festival has been postponed twice this year after seeing a significant drop in attendance.
143 million. That is how many people had their personal information exposed because of a data breach at Equifax. And tonight we've learned that Equifax knew about that breach 5 months before informing the public. The breach involves names, addresses, social security numbers, birth dates, even your driver's license information. So if you think you've been hacked, experts urge you to sign up for a 24/7 credit monitoring service, use two-factor authentication for phones and emails, and consider freezing your credit report, which prevents anyone but you from accessing them. And if you find signs of fraud on your credit report, you can request to have that information suppressed so that it doesn't show up again. And finally, never respond to unsolicited calls or emails requesting your personal information.
The search is still on in Duval County for the man accused of punching a 66-year-old woman and leaving her in critical condition. According to a police report, this man and the woman's son got into an altercation at a Texaco gas station on September 11th. That was last Monday. The man allegedly swung at the son and ended up hitting the woman and knocking her on the ground. So if you recognize this man, you're asked to call JSO.
In Columbia County, deputies are asking for your help finding this escaped inmate. Deputies say Matthew Self got away while working in the Benton Road area, north central Columbia County. So if you see him, you're asked to call police. He's serving time for theft and burglary. He does have a tattoo on his face. Again, if you see him, if you know where he is tonight, call the Columbia County Sheriff's Office.
Parents now have one less thing to worry about recovering from Irma. All Northeast Florida school districts will provide free breakfast and lunch to students. You don't have to register or fill out any paperwork. Students will receive free breakfast and lunch until October 20th.
Well, if your home was damaged during Hurricane Irma and you need some help filing insurance claims, there's an event that you'll want to attend. A disaster recovery center will open at the Prime Osborne Convention Center downtown tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. It will stay open until 6 p.m. Insurance experts, as well as Senator Marco Rubio, will be there on hand to answer your questions. And be sure to tune in to Good Morning Jacksonville. We will be live at the Prime Osborne Center with a look at everything you need to know tomorrow morning.
And mentioning Good Morning Jacksonville, Lindsay is normally on Good Morning
Staying
Jacksonville,
up late with
but she's
us
staying
tonight.
up late tonight.
Yeah, it's a little difficult, I'll tell you that. But, you know, we've got great weather the rest of this week, so it's really not that terrible, especially at night. Those evenings are a little bit cooler. Those early mornings are a little bit cooler as well. So as you're getting the kids ready for school tomorrow morning, you'll notice that we have some fall-like, crisper, cooler air out there, but temperatures during the day still going to be in those upper 80s to lower 90s. It'll just feel really nice in the morning, a little bit lower humidity out there. We'll talk about Maria in just a second. I want to get through the good news of tomorrow first. Temperatures by 8 o'clock already at 70 degrees. Again, beautiful sunny day again tomorrow. We start with mostly sunny skies. We'll see those clouds start to build in as we head into the afternoon. And then once we get into the evening hours, we'll see those clouds sort of clear out of here. We're at 90 degrees by 2 o'clock and then 87 as we head into the 6 o'clock hour. This drier weather from Jose is good news for us, especially if you live along the St. Mary's River near McClenny. Those water levels continuing to go down. Flood stage is still at 12 feet. We are still above that, but by midweek we should be right where we need to be. And then if we're talking about the Santa Fe River in Fort White, those water levels are still continuing to go down as well. Flood stage is at 23 feet, expecting that to be near normal by the time we get to the end of the week. All right, so talking about our tropics again, we've got Maria, 160-mile-per-hour winds. We're going to continue to watch this, especially the track as it gets closer to all of these islands that were hit by Hurricane Irma just last week, especially Puerto Rico. This latest track has it just to the north or more north of Puerto Rico, but has made landfall in Dominicana, and that will continue to move to the west-northwest at about 9 miles per hour. This is not going to be impacting us or hitting us here in Florida as of right now. What this looks like is we're going to have a curve here, and then it'll continue to curve up to the north and the east. So zooming back in here, you can see there is that eye wall right there, that very powerful eye wall, and that's where we find those strongest winds. Jose, again, is causing us to have this drier weather. That drier air is wrapping around and impacting us. Here's a look at the European model. This was probably the most accurate model that we had during Hurricane Irma. This is having it continue to move to the north and then take another curve to the north and the east, not even impacting any of our East Coast states, but definitely something that we'll keep a very close eye on. Steering currents, this is why, because we have an area of high pressure that's going to be impacting where this hurricane goes, and again to the north and the east. 7-day forecast, real quick look at that. Temperatures in these upper 80s to lower 90s for the rest of the week. Low temperatures overnight in the upper 60s to lower 70s, and fall is here on Friday.
Thank you, Lindsay. Monday Night Football, high school style. We're taking you to a couple of games, but first.
You can't throw, man. I mean, you can throw, you just throw to the wrong people. You threw me the ball one time. I was sitting at the house.
Monday Night Quarterback is back, and Jags fans are sounding off about Sunday's loss to the Titans. Folks, we're popping up the volume. Next in sports. Five, four, three, two, one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
From the Farrah and Farrah Sports Desk, it's First Coast Sports.
Hello, everybody. The Jaguars signed a quarterback today, and nope, it was not Colin Kaepernick, but Ryan Nassib. I'm sure you're saying, who? Nassib is a fifth-year quarterback who's appeared in 5 NFL games. He played for Tom Coughlin in New York. He played for Doug Marrone at Syracuse. But Marrone says he is not here for competition reasons. Blake Bortles is the starter. Chad Henne is the backup. However, Nassib is here if one of the two get injured. Monday Night Quarterback is back, and it's time for Jags fans to sound off after Sunday's big loss to the Titans.
Blake Bortles, here's what you do. Take both of your arms, left and right, and leave them at the house. Yeah. You can't throw, man. I mean, you can throw, you just throw to the wrong people. You threw me the ball one time, I was sitting at the house. You make everybody around you worse, man.
Come on, Jacksonville Jaguars. Look, we keep doing this over and over again. We finally have a good defense. We obviously know who the problem is and what the problem is. It has to happen at the quarterback position. Me, myself, I've been a long-time defender of Blake Bortles, but clearly there is time that we change this.
So, after yesterday's loss, I think we need to get rid of Blake Bortles and bring in Colin Kaepernick. That'll work.
How about some Monday night high school football? Tonight, several of our local prep football teams had to square off after Hurricane Irma forced school officials to push back their Week 4 games. We start out at the beaches where the Fletcher Senators hosted the Atlantic Coast Stingrays. Director Emily, let's roll those highlights. And I hope you like defense because this one had a lot of it. Jalen Mitchell came to play on this Monday night. He had not one but 2 picks. Player of the night nominee, AC, would play a scoreless first half. That's the second one. On to the second half now. Senators will get the offense going. Anthony Evelyn takes the handoff, and then he does the rest. Meet him in the end zone. That's where it's going down. That made it 7-0 Senators. They were not done threatening again when Devon Lingo calls his own number, and Fletcher would blank Atlantic Coast 28-0. Ponte Vedra at Westside. Second quarter, Sharks trying to move the ball, but the Wolfpack come up with a